It's the first Friday of the month, and that means it's time for Eye on Terre Haute. This is where we sit down with Terre Haute Mayor Duke Bennett and talk about what's going on in the city. Thank you for joining us.
Great to be here.
Well, we are in the fall season, so that means the leaves are going to start falling soon. So let's talk a little bit about, I know there was some issue last year whether the city was going to have leaf pickup for this year. What has the city decided about that?
Well, I've decided to do it again this year, but we're going to make one pass only.
Okay.
And so we will start November 1st, roughly. We want to wait as long as we can till most of the leaves are down, and make one pass through the city and clean them up. So we won't be working any overtime per se. We will put all of our resources in a couple of month period there to do that. It'll probably take us right till the end of the year, weather dependent, to get that done. So we just ask people, to get them out to the tree row, make sure your cars are moved. It'll be through the media which sections we're working in, and of course, if we get a lot of rain or if we get any freezing temperatures, it'll delay it a little bit. But if you can keep your cars out of the way, get the leaves out of the curb, and we can just get through there as fast as we can and pick them up, it'll be better for everybody. And so we can keep our costs down and still keep that program for at least another year.
Well, you have those sections on the website of when you're going to do what areas?
Yes, and then we'll give it to the media, and you
Okay.
guys can run that too. So each week you'll kind of know what sections are we working in. And it takes, it'll take that full 2 months there to make one pass. And so I think we can make it work. I think it's the more people that will bag them, that's good though too. I mean, I would still encourage people to mulch or bag their leaves, set them out with your trash, and Republic will carry them away. But, we'll do this and try to make one pass and see if we can make it work and keep that service at least for another year.
And then you'll reevaluate for next year?
Yep, we'll just see. I'm hoping this will work and we'll be able to continue to do it.
Wonderful. And kind of talking about budget issues, earlier in a couple past segments we've talked about, October was kind of the month when the budget was going to be finalized, that sort of thing. How's that process kind of moving along right now?
Well, it's moving. It's a little frustrating. It's a little slow because, the process is a long process.
Right.
But then towards the end where you really got to squeeze it and make it work. And you have to submit something to the state, and what the council has to approve it first, then you have to submit it to the state, and then they give up, they have updated numbers after we do that. So you do the best you can with what revenues you think you're going to get with the estimates. And, when you're cutting so much out of the revenue side, you don't want to overcut, but you want to do just the right amount. And it's really tricky these days to be budgeting in municipal finance. And I think we're close to a fundable budget, which means we'll have enough, money to cover the expenses. We're not there yet. Over the next few weeks, we'll still be making some additional cuts, and then at the end of October, hopefully the council will approve that budget. We'll submit it to the state, and then next March or April, they'll tell us whether it's approved by the state or not. Even though we're in the new year, that's the way the system works. And then if we have any additional cuts we have to make, we'll make it after that. And so it's just kind of a multi-headed, multifaceted, ongoing. It's almost like you budget all year and then you react to the changes that happen. And the thing about the revenues is you really don't know what your revenues are going to be until the end of that year, because if people don't pay their property taxes, the money doesn't come in, which that's happening. You may have to make additional cuts because even the estimates might have been good, but people don't pay their taxes, then we got to be able to pay the bills. And so it's just an ongoing process. Then you start the next budget cycle. And so it never really ends.
And so are you seeing, or is the city seeing more people being delinquent on their property taxes, and that's...
There's a few, and I think you'll still see more. As long as people aren't working, you're going to have that, because we're seeing more vacant homes, whether it's foreclosure or not paying their property taxes, which at the end of the day, they haven't paid their property taxes either. It's all part of the recession and just part of the economy, and when that turns around, that part will get better. But things are tough for people right now.
And also, the council did approve most of the city's salaries, but it's still kind of in works right now with the firefighters. They're talking with kind of disputing over their salaries. Is that a concern to you with the budget as a whole?
Well, I didn't even know anything about an issue. And so that was brand new information that happened in that last meeting, and we'll get that worked out. I don't know. There's just some discrepancy from the past, apparently, that was caught just recently. And so I wasn't even aware of any of those details until it was brought out.
All right.
We'll get it sorted out.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Mayor, for coming on and talking about all this. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next month. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to see this segment or a past segment, or you have an idea of your own, please go to WTHI-TV.com and click on the community page.